Peace and blessings. What's good? This is your boy Seven Inglewood Zone right now in your zone, and this is another episode of Society Breakdown, where we do a little bit of analysis into the cultural diaspora. And today is no different, my friends, because what we're talking about today is what is a sellout. Like what exactly what would you consider a sellout to be, right? And I say that not because I'm just sitting there trying to like give people names and labels and all that, but I'm like literally interested in what is a sellout. So I went ahead and hopped into the Googles, and the Googles said that there are several components. And it says that a sellout is someone who trades loyalty to their people, principles, or stated values for acceptance, access, protection, status, or personal advantage. Money can be involved, but it isn't essential. And then it says that a sellout converts insider credibility into protection or acceptance from an outside power, usually by helping that power discredit, discipline, or control the people that they came from. I would use that to describe like the people who help to infiltrate and dismantle the Black Panther Party. I would say that would also be attributable to someone like the man who assassinated Malcolm X in the Audubon Ballroom. And I would also put that on people that we see in the wild, as they say, who cannot wait for somebody to offer them something more than what they already have. That's not something that's offered to us, so that way they can benefit by turning on us. Like somebody right next to you, maybe somebody right next to you right now who's like, hey, you know what? Man, all I need is a check and it's a wrap. So with that in mind, I want to say, first and foremost, I'm not sitting here trying to say that Black people are a monolith. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, there's certain things I know I would agree with Dr. King on. There's certain things I would agree with Malcolm X on. There's certain things I agree with Medgar Evers on. You know what I'm saying? So, and they didn't always agree with each other, and that's fine. We don't always have to agree, but I would maintain that it makes sense to follow or to at least be honest about basics. So that way, when we're talking from a space of honesty, or we're talking with a mutual understanding before we even get into what the content is that we're saying. All that to say, one of my people sent me this debate with Brandon Tatum. I'm not calling him an officer because he's not. Like if that's part of his what is that? Is that part of his brand? Like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant? Like either way, I'm not calling her a doctor and I'm not calling you an officer, Brandon. Anyway, I thought it would be interesting for us to take a look at what this man is saying, how he thinks, and maybe, I don't know, maybe find, is this what the mind of a Black conservative is? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and like play the whole thing because I don't want to get a copyright strike. I'm a little small channel and I'm trying to do my thing, right? But I do want to do this reaction some justice. So right here, his contention is that Republicans and Donald Trump specifically have more to offer the Black community than the Democratic Party. And then and he goes into talking about the First Step Act and then saying that the Republicans are going to give permanent funding to HBCUs, which is something Barack Obama never did. Here's the thing. How much money is actually going into those HBCUs from the Republican Party versus when there was no permanency added to that? That's what you should look at, right? Let's do that, shall we? Because we deal with facts over here. And you see, this is why context matters, because under Obama, HBCUs were receiving on average roughly $2 billion a year, right? $2 billion a year. Versus under Trump, they're getting $255 million in permanent annual funding, but $85 million specifically for HBCUs. You know, I didn't want to sit here and do the math for y'all, so because I don't know if you trust me like that. So I just wanted to put out the numbers so that way you can decide what this is. It said $85 million was specifically going to HBCUs versus the $2 billion under the Obama administration. And so of that 85 million, 85 would be 4%. I'm sorry, 4.25% of $2 billion. And these are the type of arguments that some of these conservatives like to make when they're trying to make it seem like, oh, our side is so much better because look, we're doing things that nobody was even trying to do. Look at all the progress we've made. I'll start off by saying that this is, first of all, performative. This is just performative in its essence, right? But if we're going beyond that and we're actually getting into what the facts are, it's always wild how when you're arguing against these people and you're trying to say, and they make a statement that they're standing on, and you present to them something that says, hey, I know you said you stand on that, but here's some information that absolutely refutes the thing you just said you stand on. They don't even acknowledge, they act like it doesn't even exist. And because they never saw it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't factor into the equation. I thought we were having a good faith argument from start. Because again, this is what I talked about. We have to have certain things that we agree on before we can even have this conversation. Otherwise, we're not conversing or debating in good faith. So the sister's asking for respect. She's like, hey, please don't interrupt me. I don't want to be interrupted. And he's like, but I'm talking. Yeah, it's like sister is sitting there talking and asking for her respect. Like, hey, I don't want to be interrupted. Can you please shut up while I'm talking? And I just said it. Like, dude is sitting here just trying to make his point. We can already see that he on bullshit. We can absolutely see it. I'm here to talk and overtalk you. You can ask for your respect, but I will respectfully not listen to a damn thing you're saying while I continue on my bulldozing. I can already tell you what he's going to say. He's going to say that's stupid. Why would they have a why would they have something to go and check and see if laws are being disproportionately applied? If it took a body of diverse people, black and white, and then women and Latinas who all agree that this should be law, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, you're a former cop, right? I mean, so you're saying every time you pull somebody over, you treated everybody the same? Black, white, Latino. I mean, because you don't have any of these bad facts and bad faith arguments for anybody else. You've only got these bad facts and bad faith arguments about black people. So while you speak like this about black people, it's hard for me to believe that you wouldn't interact differently when you come across black people versus how you come across white people. So, like you are somebody who exercises in bad faith. You work and operate in bad faith. I knew it. And he said desperate effect. It's not desperate, it's disparate. If you can't hear the words, how can you respond and react appropriately to the words? There's a difference between desperate and disparate. Disparate means they're not paired, dispaired. They're not paired together correctly. Desperate is what you are right now, trying to figure out what the heck this sister's saying while she's debating circles around you right now. He asked a question. Why do you think he got rid of that? He didn't have an answer, so he asked her a question. He asked her the same question. See, this is what people like this do when they don't have anything to say. They ask you, they try to question you as if like, oh, well, I'm going to ask you the thing, and then I'm going to challenge your answer because I don't have an answer, but I'm going to challenge your answer because you actually have them. Because all I do is question the other side and have nothing to really offer the other side. Whereas on my side, I feel like I have all the answers, just like the people on my side do. This is the argument of racist sympathizers. This is the craziest thing. Well, he treats me well. He treats me well. Okay, well, if so you're the one. What about the 10 million who say otherwise? Do we not listen to them? Because you say your voice against 10 million other, and I'm not even saying it's probably way more than that. But your voice against 10 million. And you're the clarion voice that we should lock on to. That's what you think? Brandon Tatum and people like him make racists feel comfortable. That's their job. They're paid to do that. One of the major ways they go about doing that is denigrating the community, area, and people from whom they originate. That way it shows, I am pledging fealty to you. I am definitely 100% dedicated to you and your cause. That's what that's doing. It's almost like a humiliation ritual where you're telling the world, I no longer stand on this side. I know people like that. They're not that bold yet because they ain't got enough money to get out the hood yet. But I know your type. Yeah, this ain't about jobs. This is about people live. This is about this. You see that? That's what happens when you don't know things and you only look at one bit of information. You have to look at all the information, sir. Otherwise, you look like it anyway. So you have to. So what's going on is she's talking about people who have lived in Trump's buildings. You're talking about employees. Those aren't the same. I know for me, this is just a case of gaslighting that I just cannot be a part of. Because you are essentially sitting there not knowing the things she's talking about, not able to answer the questions that she's asking, and unable completely to articulate yourself in any sort of way that proves anything that you've stated or purported, and somehow she's the one that doesn't know what she's talking about?
How, Sway?
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
And see how he moves on. I've made a point. Go on. Next. You're not making any points. What you're doing is obfuscating, over talking, and trying to overrun your time so that by the time everything is done, you can move on and say, "See, I made a point." See, you're horrible at this. We're one question in, and you're absolute crap. Absolute crap. Why does it? It wasn't about that. So the post doesn't have to be about these people being whatever. It's the fact that he posted it. I used to have white friends, right? John, Ian, yeah, y'all remember. And one thing that, and it's wild how with both friends, there came a time when both of them decided to hop out the trees and start doing some racist shit, right? Now, John, I no longer talk to him because of what he had to say about the Obamas. I don't fuck with that. And Ian decided to hop out of body one day when I hadn't seen him for about 15 years. And first thing he does is start telling me nigger jokes. I'm like, what? I didn't know we had that sort of relationship. The fuck is this, Ian? But then if I look back at the times and relationships that we had together while we was in college and all that, I have to look at, and realize that they was racist even then. They used to do, like, say a racist joke, and then back it up. Oh, I'm just kidding. Racist joke. Oh, I'm just kidding. Oh, they would do that a lot. And that's what this dude is doing. So that's what he's trying to say that Trump did, right? I posted the Obamas as animals, but they're all animals if you think about it. I mean, and that's the sort of thing that they used to equivocate and make themselves feel good that they got one off because they did a racist joke, did something racist, but then, ha ha ha, I also got one over on you because I convinced you that it's a joke. When that's how I really feel. And what is more American than that? Here's how I know he's absolutely capped. Let's say somebody made a post that said, kill all Jews. And the person says, I was just joking. Do you think that they would be okay with that? They'd be cool with it? Nah. He called you out to your face. Who is this? You are. You're the sellout. You are the sellout. And that's why homie's eyes. Look at homie. Look, hey, look. Homie eyes in the background. His eyes is big as hell. He focused. Oh shit! Did you just call this big nigga a sellout to his face? Yes. Yes, you are a sellout. Yes. Yes, I think you're a sellout. I won't say you are. But I think you are. Let me give you a fact. The first black Republican, the first black legislators in Congress was Republican. Why are we gonna act like the Southern Switch didn't take place? Why are we gonna act like what Atwater said wasn't said? Why are we gonna act like the Nixon administration didn't happen? Why are we gonna act like they didn't get mad at FDR? Why are we gonna act like any of this stuff? This is what I talk about when I say they don't argue in good faith. Because they don't look at all the facts. They look at the ones that are convenient to their argument. And this is why I generally don't engage or entertain these sort of arguments. Because what's the point? They're not trying to be convinced. And you can't convince me because I know me. I know history, and I know too much, and I know what side I'm on. And I'm not saying I'm on the side because it's just the side where all the people who look like me is. No, I'm just saying I know what side I'm on because I know the side you're on sounds insane. There would be too much I'd have to pay. Too much. The payment is too high for somebody like me to be where you are, Mr. Tatum. And that's not to say that black people can't be Republicans. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying to be your type of Republican, the sellout type of Republican. Oh, yeah. The idiot type of Republican that you are. Oh, yeah. There's not a whole lot like you. You are one of a kind. So we had black congressmen in the late 1800s, of course. But then the Wilmington coup took place. And that was funded by a group called the Secret Nine, who were businessmen and other elites with money who wanted those black men gone. And as a result, they were all removed at gunpoint from Congress. It's the first successful coup to take place on American soil. So there's that. Hey, Travanti, hey, you got a fan in your boy right here, cause man, you calling this dude to his face. He told him he a sellout. You let him know that he don't know what he's talking about. Let him know you're steamrolling and bulldozing because you don't want to hear what's being said. Absolutely, call it out. That's exactly what he's doing. I love this. I love how Travanti is not backing down from this dude and letting him know you don't know what you're talking about. You're bad at this. You're making points that don't refute anything I'm saying. All you're doing is saying, that's not true. That's not true. And you don't have anything to use to refute that other than your feelings. And that's a difficult and arduous position from which to have any sort of debate. I'm sorry. Did you say I've read portions of his book? What portions of his book? When people say portions, that means a page. You've read a page out of a 398-page book. Okay, cool. Well, you probably didn't even read the page. Maybe you read a paragraph. Maybe all the paragraphs that you've read in the book come out to the equivalent of one page. Sure, okay, I'll give you that page. Do you think that because you've had the access to one page of a book, or hell, because you've had access to which would actually be the equivalent of 0.025% of anything, that you have a full breadth of knowledge of the thing? I'm just a little curious. I'm just a little curious. But maybe you can enlighten me, because I don't think you got it, son. I think you ain't got it. And that's exactly how a lot of black Republicans and black Republican sympathizers and black racist sympathizers seem to think. If I just get my money up, if I just get enough status, if I just get enough things around me to insulate me from racism, then I won't even see or notice racism anymore. Didn't we hear that from Jason Whitlock when he was talking about LeBron James? LeBron James ain't got nothing to worry about because he's got this much money. So if anybody's calling him the N word, it don't even matter. You know, something like that. Like, which is the weirdest definition. The weirdest defense of racism I've ever seen in my life from a black person. But I digress. All right, y'all. Y'all have to let me know what you think about this. This is about a 2-hour video, and obviously I'm not going to go through the whole thing right here, but let me know what you think about what your man was saying, if you rolling with Brandon Tatum or not. Personally, I think he is a sellout, and I think Trevante did excellent work in letting him know this is what they do. They like to pull out sellouts so that way they can find somebody who can represent them and say things to black people that they'd like to say, but they know they wouldn't be received as well, which is why he brought up Booker T. Washington's argument. But in all honesty, I think he was talking about Brandon. I digress. Let me know what you think about this Tatum dude, right? Like, do you think that his actions meet the definition of a sellout? And I'm not saying it because, again, I'm not just trying to label people, but I mean, hey, if it meets the definition, what the hell should you call it? But let me know what you think about this. Make sure you follow the Because Racism series I've been posting on all the platforms. And make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe, and all that humming as you share it with your people. And please make sure you take care of yourself and others. Until next time when I see you then, peace. And I'm out.